We are now 24 hours away from the first primaries of the 2022 election season in Ohio and Indiana. The races could provide a fresh look at former President Trump's sway over the Republican Party, especially in Ohio. Republican Ohio Secretary of State Frank LaRose is not only running that state's elections, but he's also running for re-election himself. And he joins me now with more on this. Secretary, thanks for being here. I know Election Day is tomorrow, big day. Early voting,
yes, I can hear you.
Has been underway for weeks. So how has that been going?
Well, we've seen a crescendo. It started slow at the beginning. Ohio has 4 weeks of early voting, and it's grown over the last 4 weeks. Of course, today is the end of early voting at our boards of elections until 2 p.m. I'm here at the Montgomery County Board of Elections right now. And then tomorrow's the big day. I hope to see big turnout. We're working to get the word out to Ohioans.
What are you looking out for as these results start to come in? According to the numbers released from your office, both in-person and mail-in votes were dominated by Republicans casting their ballots. What do you attribute that to?
Well, certainly, I think there is a much more robust contest going on the Republican side, certainly for the U.S. Senate race, as well as there's a governor's race that's contested here in Ohio in the primary. And I think that, Ohio Republicans are excited to get out and make their voices heard.
Now, President Trump, in the same rally where he endorsed your candidacy, repeated false claims about the 2020 election being stolen, and he had suggested an end to mail-in ballots. Let's listen to that moment.
Well, Republicans must get smart and end mail-in ballots, or you're not going to have any Republicans elected in this country anymore. These people, Mitch McConnell and these people are so stupid. We're just 7 months away from the most important midterm victory in American history. This is the most important ever, and we need a landslide so big that the radical left cannot rig or steal it.
All right, now, to be clear, the results were certified by all 50 states, led by Republicans and Democrats. Those accusations of fraud were also examined by 60 courts, including Republican and Democratic judges, and they were investigated by the Attorney General at the time, Bill Barr, and no widespread fraud was found. So do you support this idea of ending mail-in voting?
What we have in Ohio is absentee voting, and it's important to distinguish the two. In some states, they have, I would say foolishly, decided to send absentee ballots to everybody, whether they asked for one or not. We don't do that in Ohio. If you want to vote from the comfort of home, that's available to you. You have to prove your identity when you do that. And we also maintain accurate voter rolls in Ohio. So Ohio does this right. That's not just me talking. That's what President Trump said when he was interviewed a year ago. Ohio does elections right. We're a gold standard for other states to follow.
All right. So you don't think that mail-in voting, period, should be done away with?
I think absentee voting works well. I think it's a bad idea to have universal mail-in voting where you mail a ballot to everybody, whether they ask for one or not. Because here's the problem. Unless you do a perfect job, and it's not possible to do a perfect job of maintaining accurate voter rolls, you are invariably going to be mailing ballots to people that have moved or who are deceased. In Ohio, if you request an absentee ballot, the Board of Elections mails you one. It's just one of the good and secure choices that Ohio voters have.
So given, it sounds like you're saying that, Ohio does this, they do it well, this can continue to happen and keep elections sound. So do you have concerns that a push to end this ability to vote from home entirely would make it harder, if not impossible, for some of your constituents to vote?
Well, again, Ohio has 3 convenient choices. I always tell people there's no better option. There's in-person election day voting, of course. There's absentee voting from the comfort of home. There's also early voting. They're all good. They're all easy. They're all secure. In Ohio, you can also track your ballot. So once you send in your ballot, this is what my wife did this year. She mailed in her absentee ballot, and then we went online at voteohio.gov and tracked that ballot to make sure it was received by the County Board of Elections. It works well the way Ohio does it. Other states should really follow our example, though, when it comes to both maintaining accurate voter rolls, but also having a secure absentee ballot request process where you have to prove your identity when you request your ballot.
Now, redistricting lines in Ohio are still being disputed. So how do you think that battle is impacting voter turnout and voter attitudes?
So like in a lot of states, there has been a massive amount of litigation surrounding redistricting. To be clear, the congressional districts are set, and those are going to be on the ballot tomorrow. So those congressional contests will happen tomorrow. But you're right that because of all this litigation, there is still a question about the state legislative races. That's the Ohio House and Ohio Senate. the State Central Committee, which is the governing body for both of the major parties. Those will have to be at a separate date. That most likely will occur in August. It will be up to the state legislature or to the federal court to set that. And yeah, all of that uncertainty has created concern. That's why it's so important that we get the word out. And Ohioans know that it's easy to vote here, and that tomorrow is the opportunity to make their voices heard.
And these elections, to a certain degree, are being looked at through the lens of how much, a fresh look, essentially, at how much influence the former president has over the Republican Party. So how much sway do you think President Trump does have with Ohio voters right now?
You know, I think President Trump is incredibly influential. Here in Ohio, he won by an overwhelming margin in a secure election. He got over 8%. In fact, a record-setting 3 million votes in the state of Ohio. I think when President Trump speaks, America listens because they saw what his leadership was able to do in the White House, a real contrast to what you're seeing from the Biden administration. It's certainly not all you need. You need to have a good case. You need to have a good candidate. Get out there and make your case. But President Trump's endorsement means a lot. That's why I was so proud to earn his endorsement just last weekend when he came to Ohio.
All right, Ohio Secretary of State Frank LaRose, we appreciate your time today. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.